Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have a very special guest, Jason Ambrose. He's the CEO of People.ai. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks, Gerhard. Great to be here.
When you think back to the McKinsey days, moving through Aperio and Motive Partners and landing at People.ai, what do you have learned at those steps of your journey?
Starting at McKinsey, coming to one of the best companies in the world that do that advisory work and seeing how technology was entering into their higher level strategic conversations about how to be more effective in a sales organization. It was impressive to me how fast they got relevant to senior levels in their accounts. And Doug Smith was an old friend of mine and mentor who was a founder at Anaplan. So it was very interesting to come into the software side and figure out how to scale up an organization in the way that we used our tool at the time to help make selling organizations more effective. Motive, Doug brought me in there to think about now how to take all of these skills and use that in sort of an operating partner role to look in a portfolio and evaluate a business and say, is it really growing successfully? What needs to happen differently? All of that's coming together, I think, here at People.ai to understand how we present a company to investors and how we operate to make our customers more successful in the way that they sell using our technology in the same way that, we did at Anaplan that was really sort of unique. We can look all the way down to the transcripts, to the emails that are taking place, and the AI can figure out and establish that base source of truth. And then we can build the layers of different forms of AI that's turning that data into something valuable, which then either humans or agents can use to decide how to take action to make selling better. We can think differently about what we're trying to accomplish with our systems and the information that we're providing to our sellers and our agents to get those results.
The magic new acronym is MCP. Can you explain what that means?
Think about how you interact with Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, where you've got this chat interface and you can give it a set of prompts and it can come back to some answers and you can have some back and forth with it. What MCP allows you to do is take a system like ours that's generating answers or information off of a proprietary data set, in our case, everything that's happening in our customers, and it can now work with other agents or other AI to have that same back and forth. So in the same way that I ask questions of Claude, Claude can ask questions of Sales AI, our product, to get to the answers that it needs. I may say, for example, to Claude, tell me about the ways that we've been successful in positioning our product with differentiation. That's a pretty high level question that it needs to reason through maybe 30, 40 different questions to generate an answer for me. Now Claude can engage directly with our product and our MCP server to get those answers and come back to me with a synthesized answer that's actionable around these are the three things that you've been really good at that you need to do more of.
How do you deal with sales managers that are trained on to live by the dashboard? What you suggest is managers want answers, not dashboards.
It's a great example of meeting them where they are and providing the answers where they want them. We like to say that the numbers tell a story, but they don't tell the whole story. You may want to find some additional questions or answers related to a specific piece of data that you're seeing. Let's say you see a forecast call that's $2.5 million and there's $1 million deal that's part of it. So you want to understand what's going on with that deal. What kind of risks are there for them to hit the timing? What are our chances of winning the deal? Surfacing those answers next to a dashboard, which starts with some definitive numbers and really starts your next set of questions as a manager is the best way to meet them with their natural starting point in those dashboards.
You're mentioning Red Hat that reported a 50% improvement in win rates. So what was broken and how did you fix it?
So the fact that it's not just rolling up numbers and talking about numbers, which is all they had time for, freeing up the leadership to ask more detailed questions because they can use our products to get some of the answers of what's really happening with this deal, what some of the key risks are. They can dive deeper on each of these opportunities by already knowing what the risks are from our product, as opposed to, spending a half hour with a rep on each deal to find out what those risks are to begin to say, how do we improve this win rate? Surfacing that information to compress the time it takes for the human to get the context to judge, what do I do to de-risk this deal or improve the chances? And also to widen the inspection at scale so that you don't have to go through every single deal. You go to the ones that have material risk that we would flag as red. You can skip the greens and really zero in on the ones that are going to move the needle in the forecast.
How does People AI harvest that truth that you need in order to move the needle?
When you get to larger organizations, let's take a Red Hat. They may have 30, 40 different people on the Red Hat side selling to 40 or 50 or more people on the buyer side. So how do you parse that email? How do you parse that Zoom call with all those participants to understand there may be multiple opportunities? Mapping this all back into CRM is very difficult and challenging. And that's, essentially what we've been spending the 9 years doing. So that's the secret sauce in what we do to make this effective. Now that becomes the context that makes agents more effective in using that information to either take actions on their own or synthesize that and bring good insights back to the humans.
Why is it critical for a company to have an independent, unifying data layer like People AI instead of relying solely on a single CRM combination with AI bolted on?
One is this is all we do, and this is what we specialize in. We're not driving people into walled gardens in the way that, say, a Gong is. We're open, right? So you can use our MCP. You can decide how and where you want those answers to show up. You don't have to use our interfaces to do that. We have products to do that, but you get to have those choices.
Thank you so much, Jason.